All right, guys, welcome back to the Hoops Nerd NBA show. Thank you to everyone who answered all the questions. I put out on one of my community posts, like, what you guys want me to talk about. I looked at all the questions. I picked out some ones that I really like. Tonight, I wanted to answer the first question, which was, should the Jazz trade Conley or Gobert, or get rid of which one and who, or if they shouldn't at all? And I like that question. First off, the Jazz, I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong, can't make a trade until next season. This season is not over yet. We're still going to see playoffs at some point. I still believe that. At some point, we're going to see the Utah Jazz playing in the playoffs. Whether there's a regular season or they go right to the playoffs or whatever, we shall see. But this season isn't over yet. So right now, obviously, you have to stick with, everyone. Gobert, Conley, and you just got to hope that it goes really well. The best thing for the Utah Jazz is if they go into the playoffs and they play really well. Not just for the fact that that's the point of basketball or sports in general, is to win, but that the players do really well. Because if they don't play well in the playoffs, let's say they come back, the chemistry's awful. It hasn't gotten better since the coronavirus thing. Gobert and Mitchell and Conley and the rest of the team, it's very clear that tension is still there and they can't play together, and they get beat in the first round, or maybe they get lucky enough to go past the first round, they get to the second, but it goes really bad. Let's say that's what happens. The best thing is that those players at least play well. You want Rudy Gobert to look really good, because next season you probably, if that happens, have to trade Conley or Gobert, maybe both. And honestly, I think there's a market out there for Rudy Gobert. We saw news reports out there that the Dallas Mavericks had interest in trying to recruit Gobert next year. Maybe they had a little more info than we have, that maybe Gobert might want out. Who knows? Maybe Gobert wants to go somewhere else, try to get a sign and trade or something like that and go somewhere else. Maybe the Warriors are looking for that next guy that can kind of step in and be a star for them. There's a few options there with Rudy Gobert. One of those here's a couple options out there that if you're a Jazz fan, maybe you think about. One, Bradley Beal. Perhaps the Washington Wizards, knowing that Bradley Beal has, I can't remember how many years he has left, 2 to 3 years probably. He might be someone you could trade Gobert to them for and say, like, they will be getting John Wall back. You put Gobert with John Wall. You have a pick and roll guard who is fast, who has a lob target in Gobert. John Wall is an assist machine. And so maybe Gobert fits there, and that's a way they can trade Bradley Beal for Gobert, and the Jazz could give them picks or something like that. And then all of a sudden you compare Rudy Gobert with Bradley Beal. You compare Donovan Mitchell with Bradley Beal. And then you have Mike Conley still that you can either keep on the team or trade. That's really nice. If you're trading Gobert and you get someone like Bradley Beal back, then you're probably going to move Conley as well. And Conley can go some places and get you some things. Maybe Conley goes to the Knicks and they give you RJ Barrett. Or maybe you can send Conley to the Knicks and you can get their pick or something like that. It's a weak draft, but the Jazz have drafted well in weak drafts. And so maybe you can trade Conley to the Knicks and get someone back or a pick. And maybe you can trade Gobert to the Wizards. And the reason you do this is because you're going all in on Donovan Mitchell as the primary playmaker on the team, which I think the Jazz have to do anyway. I honestly kind of feel like, and I was excited about the Conley trade because when you hear about Mike Conley, you were excited about what he would be when he joins the Jazz, but he just hasn't quite been that perfect fit that everyone hoped he would be. He hasn't played to the level everyone wanted him to. I know post All-Star break, he's been playing better, but there's been drama. The chemistry has not been good since he's been on the team, and that probably is not his fault, but who knows? And just his level of play has not been that all-star level play that everyone kind of hoped for and expected. And there's no way to know exactly what that is. Maybe that's a Conley thing. Maybe it's a Gobert thing. It could be Gobert is causing problems that we don't even know, and maybe that's why there's an issue with Donovan Mitchell. Who knows? You got to look at this from all sides. It could be anybody. But if you could do that, that's a possibility. Maybe Gobert can go and get Bradley Beal or something like that, and then they can just, they still have to play John Wall with that massive contract. There's no way they're trading John Wall. but maybe you can get Gobert and be a different type of team, unique. Bradley Beal is not known to be a great defender, and so you instantly become a great defensive team in Washington. They might be willing to do that. The other option, maybe the Warriors, who are getting Klay Thompson back, Steph Curry, want a defensive anchor that can be paired alongside like Draymond Green, and all of a sudden you've got the best backcourt in the NBA and then the best defensive front court. And they might be willing to do that. And then let's say they've got like a top 3 pick and you're willing to go to Golden State and say, hey, we have to move this guy. The chemistry's terrible. We need to do something else. We want to go all in on Donovan Mitchell as the primary playmaker on this team. Let's go out and get that shooting guard from Georgia. I can't remember his name. I'm going to probably do some profiles of draft picks this year, but you can go get a top 3 or 4 pick maybe in this draft. It's not a great draft. And so this is kind of an opportunity for the Jazz to get a nice pick. And then you say, hey, Donovan Mitchell, you're the guy. We're building around you. We're going to get pieces that just fit with what you do. And we're going to get a 5-out system. Maybe you trade Gobert to the Golden State Warriors. And like we said, maybe you can trade Conley to the Knicks, because his former agent is, I believe, the general manager there. And all of a sudden, you've just built around Donovan Mitchell. He can be a superstar, score 30-plus points a game, and you build a 5-out system. And then next season, you go and get Aaron Baines in free agency and something like that. And you just have shooters around Donovan Mitchell, and he's the star. And then you see how far that can go. And then maybe you get a guy in the draft who can become that secondary star to Donovan Mitchell. It might be good. I'm in the camp that says next year, whether everything goes great this year or not, that we need to at least trade Mike Conley, because I think it's time to just go all in on Donovan Mitchell. It's his team. This is where if you want to win it all, then you need him to become that superstar that can do those things. And so if you can get something nice for Mike Conley next year, he does have a big contract, so it could be salary relief for someone else who's looking for that relief. And guess what? With the drop in salary cap that might be happening with coronavirus, Mike Conley's big number might become really valuable. Like the Washington Wizards might be very willing to take on Mike Conley and give you Bradley Beal, because they don't want to pay those 2 years of Bradley Beal's contract, and they just want to tank. And so that might be something you could do, something to look for. Guys, that's all I have to say about this. Those are a few options. If you've got other trade options, put them in the comments. Or if you don't agree, let me know. Guys, I will talk to you later. Like and subscribe to this video. Make it like and subscribe. Turn notifications on. Do it. I'll talk to you later.